the third Saturday in October. A simple name and a complex rivalry. For one side, the Big Orange is just not a color they can sit with, and the other side, Crimson, has them seeing red. Easy to assume everyone here has a lighter in hand, and now we get to see who will use it. Welcome, everyone, to the shores of the Tennessee River, Neyland Stadium, home of the Volunteers. As we'll see the #2 team in the country, the Alabama Crimson Tide, taking on a team that ranks in the top 5 in this conference, the Tennessee Volunteers. For EA Sports, I'm Reese Davis, Jesse Palmer, and David Pollack with me. Guys, can't wait to get this started. Alabama about to kick off to get this game underway. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. So Tennessee's offense will get the first swing of the game. The Big Orange able to escape with a close win the last time they saw the Tide.
Well, last game, Tennessee came out firing right out of the gate. They were ready to go. They were locked in, dialed in. David, in this one, they're going to have to do that again. You cannot get behind the Tide in a game of this magnitude.
No, but how about last year building confidence for this year? Knowing that you beat the mighty Crimson Tide, it gives you confidence. You know you can do it again. Start this game off with that confidence.
And the Vols want to pick up the tempo. You go with the first snap of the game, and you make a big play like that, your confidence just soars.
And I don't know if the defense was sleepwalking here, Reese, but it's almost as if they didn't know the game had actually started. They were just kind of lethargic in the back end. I don't think they were anticipating this offense taking a shot on the first play.
Off the play fake on first down. And the quarterback will take a sack back at the 36.
And that's the challenge today. A week ago, they failed the challenge. Last week, they gave up 5 sacks. They can't do that again today. This defense saw it. They watched it on tape. They know they're not doing a good job of protecting their quarterback, and already 1 sack on the day.
Really need to find a productive play this time on 2nd and long. From the gun, he leads it with the back. And the spin move bought him a little time, just not a lot of yardage. When you reach this point in the season, these types of games, top 25 matchups, really determine whether you're going to be a contender.
Yeah, and really show what you're going to be the rest of the season. How are you going to finish strong throughout the season? You know, the first part of the season, now getting to the middle of the season, Palmer, getting a chance to show what you're about so you can finish strong.
It's a resume builder.
And the quarterback will be slung down back at the 43.
How about this defense coming out the gates? First drive, getting to the quarterback. They wanted to affect the quarterback, make him feel uncomfortable. Already 2 sacks on this first drive.
The Volunteers will punt it away on 4th down. First punt of the day, and he'd love to lock them up close to their goal line. Gets off his first one of the day. He was called on 5 times in the victory last week. So the Alabama Crimson Tide offense comes out for their first possession of the game. And when these two guys are in sync the way they were a week ago, just a nightmare. It's a performance they hope they can repeat this week, Jesse.
And I think a big key in that last game was they linked up a couple times early, had some big plays. And then after that, David, it didn't seem like the quarterback was looking anywhere else. They're going to try and establish that connection and that rhythm early in this one.
And defensively, where is the big fella? Like, I got to identify where he is every single snap and give him some extra attention. So if I route him at the line of scrimmage and be physical, have that.
Breaks into the open. He moves the chains, and they'll mark the ball at the 33.
Defensively, you'll take the slow death. You'll take 3, 4, 5 yards a pop, but you can't give up the massive plays. You got to do a better job containing the football, making him run to guys, and get him on the ground. For goodness sakes, this guy is fast, I know, but defensively, we got to swarm to the football and get him on the ground.
Alabama just did work on the ground. Let's see if they go right back to it. He's got an open man, and he was off to the races, and he gets it to the 45. High-flying pass catchers and the Crimson Tide. That combination wasn't right at the top of your mind, say, 30 years ago.
No, it used to be run, run, more run, and you've seen over the years they've opened it up, the playbook, and they've brought in dudes. They've had some guys that can fly, had receivers winning Heisman trophies, like so many game breakers on the outside that make big plays in this offense.
To the air, it's Russell. Punts it out of the air. And he's able to shed one tackle and pick up pretty good yardage.
Well, the defense playing zone coverage there. They're taking away all of the QB's primary options down the field, so he has to check it down to the drag running underneath.
Just nowhere to go against this defense to find that single yard he needed on third down. From this spot on the field, that will be a 53-yard field goal, but they'll leave the offense out there and try to pick up the first on fourth down. All down, but he has enough to move the chains.
And talking to the OC this week, getting this running back going was step number one, was priority number one. He said it makes the whole offense go. Like, he is the bell cow, he is the guy. This offense doing exactly what they set out to do on this first drive.
As a quarterback, this is going to be a very tough game. You're going up against one of the top 20 units in the entire country. They know who your primary target is. They're going to be keying on him, just like they did that last time, forcing the incompletion.
They'll leave it with him. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. Let's talk about Alabama. Top 5 up to this point is really good. It's staying there as we get closer to the playoff. It becomes a huge challenge.
They just need to focus on winning right now. They're in position as a top 5 team to reach the college football.
Looking for the end zone. And that one is right on target if his target was the first row. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Fourth down, and this crowd trying to help this defense rise to the occasion. Pocket breaking down. Did the work himself.
And this offense, they don't want a field goal. You could tell. They want a touchdown. They want points. Fourth down, going for it. And how about the QB, man? How about the poise? Dropping back to throw the football. Nah, it's not open. Nothing there I don't feel comfortable with. But he absolutely pulls the trigger, makes the decision, tucks it, and gets the big fourth down conversion.
Got his man on the right. Touchdown time! Made the grab and then did the rest himself, and they put points on the board. They can use this first score to sort of set the tone, guys, in this rivalry matchup.
Man, doesn't this feel good to come out, score early, get the crowd involved, get the nerves out of the way, Palmer, when you're playing in a big rivalry game?
Yeah, and I feel like momentum's always a big thing in any game, but in rivalry games, it's that much more important because everybody is going to feed off that first score now.
The Volunteer offense is back, and they hope it's touchdown time in Tennessee. Finding themselves down 7-0, they'd love to get a drive going here. They'll put this one in play, first snap of the drive from the 25. Off the play fake on first down, the throw. Grab behind the line, it's Jackson. He is stopped behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose yards on that one.
And this offense gets nothing done on that play, but look at them. They're continuing to run this tempo. They want to try to do something to get a spark going to create a big play.
That's a ball that this offense should be able to complete. They had the coverage they wanted. Receiver ran on the route. Just an inaccurate throw by the quarterback.
Got it in the middle. It's Adams. He's going to come up a couple of yards short of the first down.
Ooh, and that's a nice sigh of relief for the defense too, right? There was a broken tackle. The guy made it look like he was going to pick up the first, but because of great effort defensively, they were able to get the stop, and now they're setting up fourth down.
They'll get down and put a stop to this return. They'll mark it at the 32. Here comes that Alabama offense. Already a solid start to this one. Now back to work with this 7-0 lead. First snap of this drive comes from the 32. They're looking for an advantage to the right. Oh, he's got some space. They finally wrestle down the senior, but not before he picks up some valuable ground. They've got it 1st and 10 at the 50. Might as well run him until they stop him. He's got it again. And a really short game before he gets a whole bunch of cover. The defense. Despite all the bitterness in the Alabama-Auburn rivalry, to many, this game, Alabama-Tennessee, has the richest tradition and carries the most importance.
And you think of some of the legends that have trolled the sidelines in this rivalry, right? Paul Bear Bryant, Johnny Majors, Nick Saban. This has been such a critical game, not just in the SEC, but all across college football as well, David.
Yeah, in 1901, going back that far, this rivalry, the fans absolutely don't like each other. They don't like anything about each other. Every time the other team's playing, they're cheering against them. This game has always meant a lot.
Ripping off a good chunk inside the 25, and they're set up with a first down. So Alabama takes the lead into the quarter break. We've played one. Before we move on, let's have a look at the stats. Now to see if these guys can get back in the game in the second quarter. After changing into the field. A designed run for the quarterback. He goes out of bounds right at the 10-yard line, and the offense can smell the touchdown from here. The Crimson Tide rolled to that last first down on the ground. Let's see if they go right back to the run. Gives it on the option. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
But how fast did they get in there and make that tackle for a loss? If you blinked, you missed a nice job by the defense, getting penetration, everybody up near the line of scrimmage, shooting the gaps quick, getting in the backfield, getting the guy on the ground.
And he got a hand in there, knocks it away, incomplete.
How about the linebacker breaking on the football, seeing the quarterback, the ball comes out, he moves right to where the ball's going, nice anticipation, and swats the ball to the net.
They'd love to pick up this conversion and go to work with a first and goal. Dropping back, it's Russell. Fires into the end zone. And it's caught. Touchdown, Alabama!
And a really nice job understanding I got to get to that gap where there's a little bit of open space in the middle of the field when I run that post route. QB lays it out for him, and he catches it, gets 2 feet in bounds, in the end zone, touchdown.
The kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Tennessee ready to go to work the Big Orange offense on the field. Now we'll get a chance to see if they can answer that last score, trailing by 14, Jesse.
Yeah, and at this point in the game, I feel like offensively, you should go back to what's been working for you in this game. Don't be afraid to dial up plays that you've already had success with, running it and throwing it. It's okay to repeat plays down 14 at this point.
And I would also say, Palmer, kind of understanding that my defense is not playing great, so I know offensively I got to put some good possessions together here, make something happen on this side of the football.
This time he's got his man. Makes the grab almost to the first down marker, but a good pickup on that one. Wants to throw on third. Grab near the marker. It's Jackson. They make the stop, but the sweet blowing catch is plenty to give him a first down. The Vols are in the hurry-up. Third down, a lot of times it comes down to not necessarily who's the most open, who do you trust the most?
No, it's not about the X's and the O's. It's about the Jimmies and the Joes. And when my guy's better than you and I get you matched up out wide and I know I trust you, I'm finding you.
Finally, this offense starting to shake the cobwebs and get things moving. It's 1st and 10. The give to the back. Came through like a shot and knocked him down for a loss of 5.
And you could tell that play went nowhere from the start.
It was definitely a great play by that defender.
Oh, yeah, he got in the backfield so quick, the running back had absolutely no chance.
And the Volunteers with a long way to go after the loss on the last play. 2nd down, they'll go to the air. Working that left side now. Turning it on. He's brought down the one of play for this offense, and they'll have it at the 12-yard line. Rides the back on the option, the give. And how about that play by that giant, that mountain of a man on the defensive front? Defense going to jam these receivers right off the line. Wants to go up top. Makes the grab over the middle. That completion will take him inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. On 3rd and long, he has to throw for it. He caught it. He'll be stopped about 2 yards short of a 1st down.
You know, that's one as a quarterback. You've thrown the completion, and you're like, dude, can you just turn around and make one guy miss and go get the first? Or can you just stretch out and get the first?
Makes a grab past the marker. And he will score. Touchdown, Tennessee. After the score, we'll see if that breathes a little fire into him.
And you see it all the time, right? You get that score, you get that energy, the crowd gets involved, and the defense got to get out and get you a stop. But this was step one to getting them back in the ballgame.
Lining up for the PAT. And the PAT will draw them 1 point closer. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Dynamite matchup this week in CUSA, fellas. Let's show you what's going down. Louisiana Tech is on top, but it's not like Terry Bradshaw is playing quarterback today, which is why they can't pull away. They're up by a field goal over FIU. Conference USA tends to make its presence felt, and we'll circle back if anything big happens you should know about.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. The run from the shotgun. Get him on the ground after a 4-yard run out to the 31.
You know, as a defense, you kind of want to force the give on the RPO. You want them to run the football, and you can tell maybe the quarterback wishes he pulled this. Small game, but some information you gathered maybe for the next time you get to run an RPO.
And it'll be incomplete. This is some physical pass defense.
Not many receivers like to get hit. They just don't, okay? They're prima donnas. That's what they are. That's who they are. Nice job by the defender. You could tell he was catching the football. He was going to put a hit on him to make sure he had to think about something later, and you could see the ball pop out and fall to the ground.
And they'll get it to the 39-yard line, and they'll move the chains. Alabama comes to the line with 1st and 10. Scanning the field, it's Russell. Steps away to find some room. Makes the grab on the big throw. Big play for this offense as they get it to the 32. This guy is special, and Alabama's had a lot of them. Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle, Jerry Jeudy, who could make a huge play at the drop of a hat.
Yeah, big plays down the field. You get it to him, you know it could be a home run anytime he touches it. When you start mentioning those names, it just shows you the explosive nature. Everybody you mentioned, you know they can run right by you and hit those home runs, and so far, he's making some big plays in this ballgame.
They'll take this lead to the 2-minute timeout and see if they can tack on a little more before the break. fire. Going over the top. And he's going to take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Crimson Tide.
Quarterback's abilities to read the field is huge, and also the anticipation, the timing. To be able to throw the football, Jesse, and hit a guy in stride so he can get run after the catch and get in the end zone, that was a nice job by the quarterback.
Yeah, it's critical, David. Listen, a lot of times touchdown passes aren't thrown into the end zone. You've got to read the coverage, hit the open guy, and let him do the rest.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. So here is the Tennessee offense. Not a lot of time left here in the half. Let's see if they can cut into this lead.
And this drive isn't a must score, but, man, you look at the scoreboard. You're down 2 scores. Jesse, you got a good opportunity. Create some momentum. Cut it to a 1-score game. This is an important possession.
Yeah, it's important to create that momentum now, David, too, and not wait to get it going here at the start of the third quarter. You've got one drive here to get a couple of points. You've got to start erasing and chipping away at this deficit. This could be where the game turns right here.
Wants to fire on second down. Got his man on the right. They got him free for a big gainer down to the 43. Clock stops momentarily for the first down. They'll hurry to the line. Looking to throw on first down. Unloads it left. Intercepted. Oh, what a play. He'll be stopped right at the 42 after returning the pick, and the defense comes up with a turnover.
QB's got to pick and choose their spots when they want to be really aggressive and try to fit balls in tight windows. Great job by the DB making a big play, getting the ball back to its offense.
He wants to change this route. To the air, it's Russell. Pressure coming. He's going for the big play. And how about that DB getting a hand in there and forcing the incomplete pass? Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Behind the chains now on second and long. Misfired on the last play. They'll go back to the air. Excellent coverage and good use of the hands to knock it away.
The linebacker's showing off a little bit of athletic ability, playing some man coverage. A lot of times those guys don't play this all the time, so you see them kind of get nervous and a lot of times get that pass interference or get a little bit handsy. Really nice job seeing the football, breaking on it, and swatting it to the ground.
Neyland Stadium alive, a cauldron of orange noise on third down. From the gun, wants to pass. He'll try to do it himself. Inside the 45. And he scoots his way to the first down and then slides to avoid the hit.
Now, on the third play of the drive, third down, it's the scrambling ability of this quarterback that goes and picks up the first down. He was so calm back there. He never got flustered. Nobody open, no problem. If you give this guy 1 yard to run, he's going to tuck it and take off, and that's exactly what happened there.
He's piled up 87 yards rushing, and that should be no surprise. He's been among the nation's elite all season. Makes the grab. And just a short, safe pass play. They pick up a few.
How nice is it in this offense to have your best receiver playing in the slot? You're matching him up against linebackers, against safeties, or nickel corners. Nickel corners are oftentimes the defense's third best cornerback. This guy is virtually uncoverable.
The ball is down at the 14 after that grab.
This defense has got to be better in coverage. You want to get off the field, you got to keep defending. You got to do something to make the offense feel uncomfortable. So far, way too easy for this offense.
The Crimson Tide comes to the line with the 1st and 10. Quarterback may change this route. From the red zone, looking for a receiver. The throw to the outside is complete. And he goes out of bounds after coming up with positive yardage there.
I love the anticipation on that throw by the QB on the out route. You got to throw it before the receiver comes out of his break. Nice work.
Going to work in the red zone. They can't pick up the first down without getting it into the end zone. They'll They'll try the outside to the left. They get him stopped at the 2, but it'll be 1st and goal. This offense has been a juggernaut, and they have a chance to pad their total just before halftime. He works his way ever closer all the way down to the 1-yard line. Timeout called by the offense, and now they just have 1 remaining in the half. Looking for just 1 more yard. It's 2nd and goal. Barrels ahead. Touchdown, Bama! And they take it in for 6 more points. They've extended the lead and taken control here in Week 9.
Well, this offense is clicking. They've been doing it all first half, running the ball, throwing the ball. They add insult to injury with another touchdown here right before teams go into the tunnel. This defense, guys, they have got to find some answers, and they've got to regroup here at halftime.
And the extra point is good. Kickoff unit has been busy as they have built a big lead, and they're trying to hold on to it. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. This late in the half, here's the question: how aggressive will the play calling be? Looking for a physical attack from the gun. Breaks the tackle. How about this sophomore stopping him short of the 1st down line? That's the end of the 2nd quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin and our halftime update.
Fellas, some real edge-of-your-seat moments, and there's still 2 quarters to go here for the Tide and Vols. And how do we possibly begin without singing the praises of this receiver? His ability to find gaps, run textbook routes, and then show that breakaway speed, he simply is the total package. How this secondary responds, whether they try to double-team him or get aggressive at the line, that'll be the story of this 2nd half. With that, let's throw it back to the guys to see how the fight between Alabama and Tennessee plays out.
Thanks for that halftime report, Kevin. And the Vols will kick it away first, and we'll start the 2nd half. He'll start the return inside his 5. And he'll be brought down after a solid effort on that return. The Tide offense rolls onto the field. Not sure they had to adjust much as they'll try to build on this lead. Back to throw, it's Russell. Quarterback feeling the pressure, and down he goes at the 22. The defense coming up big there. The sack is great, but the secondary deserves some credit too.
No doubt. When you can cover like that in the secondary and drop back in your zone and only rush a few, and you feel comfortable getting home, and they're going to get to the quarterback, that is a great feeling, and it's fun to be a defensive coordinator calling the plays.
On 3rd and long, hoping to throw beyond the sticks. Got him downfield. Finally corralled, but not before. He picks up the 1st down.
Defenses throughout the week study every 3rd down situation. You got to be ready for what they do, how they do it, and then be able to adjust. Great job by the offense so far having success.
Catch in the middle, it's Scott. Crosses the 30, he's got a lane. They finally make the stop, and it's been this way this guy's whole career as a senior makes a play after the grab.
Well, this offense has shown you it doesn't take a lot of time for them to generate explosive plays through the air. Big completion on the previous play. They take another shot and hit it, and they have completely flipped the field.
Tough, determined run gets it down to the 12. Wants to adjust the pattern. It'll be 2nd down, and remember, they can pick up a 1st without scoring. He's brought down at the 7-yard line, and they are threatening to take it in.
This shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. If you've got the lead in the third quarter and you want to keep it, you got to bleed the clock. Best way to do that, run the football. And you're now seeing this offense call these run plays back to back. They are trying to be physical, and they're trying to stay on the field.
And he is snuffed out, greeted by a host of defenders.
Man, when you go into the half and you're down, like, that speech is usually pretty fiery. A lot of words you can't use on television. And so this coaching staff probably challenged their...
Touchdown Tide! Quick strike through the air for the score. The Tide is high and rolling as they try to send Rocky Top to rock bottom, and they've built a big lead.
And Alabama's simply been the more physical team in this game, and you're starting to see that exert itself here in the second half. They're pulling away, David. Tennessee's going to have to do something here, keep this thing close.
And the hard part for Tennessee is you got to stay positive. You got to believe you can win. This series hasn't always been in their favor, and they kind of know Bama's had their number of late, but they got to stay positive. They got to make something happen on this next drive.
The Volunteer offense is back, and they hope it's touchdown time in Tennessee. He leaves it with his back. Not much doing there. He gets it to the 26, a gain of 1. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Back to pass. Fights off the defender. The defense wouldn't let him loose, and even though it's a completion, they lost yardage.
Love the play by the defense. They just did a good job understanding where the running back was on that play. After the catch, they're able to make the tackle right away, and now they've set up third down.
On 3rd and long, try to convert through the air. And that one's incomplete. They weren't just trying to move the chains. They were trying to move the scoreboard. Instead, it's 4th down. The Volunteers will bring the punt team onto the field. On the move, looking for a little sliver of hope. And the return man reaches the end of the line, and down he goes. Guys, here comes that Alabama offense onto the field. They've been dominant, and now they'll try to execute to their own standard. Makes the catch. Stopped at the 44, but he got 10 on the play.
Well, this defense is going to have to find a way to start mixing up their coverages. They're in a tough spot. They're down right now, so most people would think the opponent would be running the ball, but when you've had the success these guys have had throwing it, you're going to see more shot plays, and you better change your look.
There he goes. Makes that one pay off, and they finally get him down at the 38. It'll be 1st down.
Well, there are a lot of offenses out there that would probably be a little bit more conservative when you've got a lead like this in the third quarter. But when you've got the playmakers these guys have at the skill positions throwing the football, you should keep airing it out, and that's exactly what they're doing now.
And they won't be able to connect downfield, looking for a big-time play.
Man, a quarterback threw that ball hard, too. And I know sometimes when you're throwing an in-breaking route, you want to get it to your receiver quickly. But when you try to strain and throw it harder, oftentimes your accuracy is what suffers, and you saw it there on the incompletion.
They're just trying to flex the muscle. They get him down at the 34 after a pickup of 4. And now on 3rd down after that last run. Quarterback making checks. Looking to throw, it's Russell. Moving out of the pocket. Going to try to get it himself. He's run out of bounds, and they'll say he stepped out at the 27.
And I really like the belief and the discipline by this QB because he drops back. He wants to throw the football. He sees it's covered, but he says, I can go get it, and takes off and barely gets enough for the 1st down. But way to pull the trigger, run it, and run it with authority.
Got to protect the merchandise. Gets down without taking a hit.
And because of the success this quarterback has had early in this game running the football, if I'm the coordinator calling plays, I'm dialing up his number more. Designed runs, And also telling them on the sidelines, hey, listen, remember, if it's not open, take off. Just go get it yourself. They don't have an answer for you right now, and this is a big key for us to win this game.
He's brought down, but he went backwards after that completion, not the way they had it drawn up.
I'll tell you, I just don't like throwing wide receiver screens against press man coverage. Receivers are not great blockers, and they just couldn't get it done there, and as a result, the offense actually loses a couple points.
Ball's at the 24, a lot of confidence in their kicker from here, but they'd love to take it off of his foot and convert the first down. And that's incomplete. A defender all over him. Knocked the ball to the ground. Fourth down coming up.
Yeah, and you just wonder if the defense now is taking out some frustration. Obviously, they've been getting lit up all over the place, and that time they finally gave it back to the offense there. Really nice, big, clean hit. This defense needs a little bit more of that as the game goes on.
Drop the football, and they'll turn it over on downs. They spun that wheel of fortune on fourth down and come up bankrupt. Looking to throw on first down. Caught in the backfield. It's Williams. Not a whole lot of room there on that screen pass as it just never developed. They send 4 receivers onto the field, 2 to the right, 2 to the left on 2nd and 6. Wants to go up top. Gets it out quickly. Stopped at the 43 after the 15-yard pickup.
That's a huge throw for the offense, but they're down by a ton. They're going to need a lot more of that, and it's not going to be easy considering the defense knows they're probably going to be throwing the ball every play here in the second half.
Breaks into the open. They finally make the stop, and it's been this way this guy's whole career as a senior makes a play after the grab. As they get set to snap it, just about to reach the end of the quarter. Here's the handoff. He gets nothing, and they're staying stubborn with this running game, but at some point you're going to have to change your thought process. We've reached a break, and Alabama has the lead. Let's take a quick look at the national rankings to see how this playoff race is shaping up. As we enter the fourth quarter, let's see if anything memorable can come from this one. So the final period starts with a second down play. Laundry down on the field as the pass is incomplete, but let's see what the penalty is. This defense happy with how that last play turned out, so they'll decline the penalty. Offense in a bunch formation.
Single. Get ready.
Third and long, and he'll try to throw for it. Flips it out to the back. Not going to get there. Not going to get close as he's brought down at the 30. It's fourth down.
It's always interesting how people handle late game. Like, you know this game is over. There's not a lot to gain from it, but some people try to throw the ball deep and continue to make plays. They throw it short. The clock's running out, and there's not a lot to talk about that's going to be positive for this offense.
Unleashes one deep. Throw to the end zone. Picked off.
And that's a really good job by the defense, understanding the situation of football. It's fourth down. It's late in the game. You got a multi-possession lead. Take away all the deep stuff. Make them force the football into coverage. They do, and they stamp this game.
They go to the ground. Not much there. Picks up a couple to the 22.
And here's the mindset if you're on offense. Fourth quarter, you've got a huge lead. Obviously, you're going to run the football, but just be aware of the clock. You don't want to snap it too quickly. You're probably just doing safe runs inside the tackles like you saw right there. You just got to execute. You got to be aware.
Oh, he's got some space. Past the 50. Past the 30. The 10. Touchdown, Alabama. Great job by the back on the option. That one pushes this lead out a little are here in the fourth, and now they can smell 8 straight wins. Now they've got a little breathing room. They are in firm control of this game, guys, but you never want to let up in a rivalry game.
Because it only takes one play. We know how much of a factor momentum can be in these types of rivalry games, David, so this game's still far from over.
And this is where my leadership and my experience comes into play. When you got guys that have been through these fires, been through these rivalry games, you know the swings happen quick. Now you got to swing it back your way.
Tennessee ready to go to work the Big Orange offense on the field. Weeks like this are tricky, but you have to respond better than they have, and I would expect they'll take a major hit in the rankings next week. Here comes the Heat. And the Heat will get home, and the quarterback goes down at the 17.
This quarterback has been under duress all game long. He's one of the best in the country, and he's used to having his way. He's the one who's used to dictating to opposing defenses, but that has not been the case in this game. Here we are late. He's still under pressure, taking a sack there.
It's 2nd and long now as this defense has some energy after that last sack. And he never had a chance, just stopped cold as soon as he got it. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. You make up the game plan and not a lot on the play sheet for this. 3rd and long from inside their own 20. Looking downfield, and he needs a bunch. And the ball is caught. He's inside the 35. What a play to get it inside the red zone, and they are set up at the 17. The entire complexion of this possession changed on that one play. Now they've got it 1st and 10 inside the 20. They get enough rush, and it pays off. The sack at the 20. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. The Vols now with a long way to go to pick up the 1st down. Looking to throw, it's Cameron. Finds his big tight end. They'll spot the ball at the 12 after that completion.
These 3rd downs are so critical in deciding the outcomes of football games, especially when you start to get closer to the end zone. You drill it, you practice it. This offense needs to be dialed in, needs to...
Snag in the end zone! Touchdown ball! The result of this game is going to sting for sure, but you've got to continue to build, you've got to improve, and you can take some positives out of this late hustle and build for next week.
There's always positives, and coaches are always looking for those things that we did well. What did we do well so we can do more of it in the future? Finding some things here late that they did well.
And he takes this from inside the 5. He only needs a sliver of daylight. Oh, what vision. He's going to get loose. They won't get him. It's a touchdown. Football time in Tennessee is all Big Orange right now as the Vols have built a big lead.
And you can hear the Tennessee fans, and they're yelling Rocky Top at the top of their lungs. Tennessee's got it going. Jesse, later in the game, 2nd half, this is right where they wanted to be.
I just think momentum's a real thing, and they've been able to ride that momentum here in the 2nd half. When plays have presented themselves, they've taken advantage of those opportunities, and that's why Rocky Top is pulling away.
And the extra point will tack another one onto this lead. And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
Hey, guys, just wanted to give you a quick update on a game happening in the MAC. Akron is darn near perfect offensively today. This is almost exactly the way they drew things up this week in practice. They're up 14 over Ball State. The Maction never sleeps, and we'll circle back if anything big happens you should know about.
Thanks for the update on that one, Kevin. Let us know when it goes final. From the gun, running back on the move. Works ahead for a couple. They'll stop him at the 27.
The big fella in the middle, man. Those defensive tackles, they go such a long way in deciding and really stopping the other team's run game. Just forcing contact with those guards and those centers, owning the line of scrimmage, and getting running backs on the ground.
After picking up a couple, it's 2nd and 8. He'll pull it on the read. Got enough for the first down and wants more. All down, but he has an... Move the chains.
And I love that decision by this quarterback. No monkeying around, man. Get to the spot, get the first down, lower your shoulder. I don't need a big play. I just want another set of downs. Nice job running the option, knowing where the first down marker is.
A 7-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd and 3.
And this offense just hasn't found a way to kind of open it up. Like, they haven't found those explosive plays. It feels like the defense is kind of strangling them and staying really close to the line of scrimmage because of their lack of their big play ability over the top. This offense has to dial something up.
Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face 3rd down. Looking for a man. It's Cameron. It's complete on the right side. And he's to the 48-yard line. That'll be good enough for a first down. And the Volunteers have their offense in high gear. From the gun, they'll give it on the inside. They stop him at the 42, but they get it across midfield, pick up 10 and the first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Wants to go up top on first down. Got it in the middle. It's Harrison. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there. Still a bit short of the first down. And the Vols can really attack on this 2nd and short. Looking to fire. Throwing right. Pulls it in. Brought down just outside the red zone. He moves the chains. It's at the 22. The Volunteers come to the line with a fresh set of downs. To the air on first down. Got his man quickly. That one takes it down to the 13-yard line.
And that's a really nice route by the wide receiver. Just understanding I got to win right now. I got to get inside of that guy. And I know I'm going to get contact. You run over the middle of the field on a slant.
It's a fumble. Defense covering it up and not letting the offense get it back. It's a turnover. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Here comes that Alabama offense.
Here we go.
They'll run it to keep the clock moving. He'll bounce his way ahead for a pickup of 4 out to the 14. We've reached a 2-minute timeout. In all likelihood, they could just run the clock out. We'll see if they want to rub a little salt in the wound. After the productive first down play, it's 2nd and 6. They'll run the option. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
Phenomenal job by the defense that time, shutting down the option play. They knew they were going to see this in this game, and all week long in practice, they really focused on this assignment football, making sure the dive, the quarterback, the pitch, all taken away. Nowhere to go with the football that time offensively. The defense coming up with a huge negative play.
Quickly out to the tight end. Coming out, attacking from deep in their own end, and they're out at the 26 with the first down. They came into this game with plenty of people putting them on upset alert, and they were ready for the challenge.
And they passed it with flying colors. And this is what you want to do as a team. You want to make these little statements across the season. And they proved, Palmer, the difference between them and the other team being ranked is wide, and there's a reason why.
You're right. Not all ranked teams are created equally, and they showed that here today, dominating in all three phases. This is a team everybody needs to look out for.
He's taking the shot. He's got it along the sideline. They're ripping off chunks of yardage. They get it to the 33.
You know, I love offensive coordinators that want to stay aggressive, and they've come up with big plays all game long. It's a big reason why they have this lead right now, and they're not backing off here in the fourth quarter. They're letting their guys go play. The entire playbook is open to them, and they're taking shots.
Hit as he throws. He's got the tight end. The stop is made, but this offense is threatening. First and goal from the 9.
Man, I love this guy's toughness. All game long, he's been getting hit. He's been sacked multiple times, and here we are late in the game. He's still staring down the barrel, gets nailed, but is able to deliver a big completion for his offense.
Trying to barrel in. And we have breaking news. They score yet another touchdown.
And how about this squad, man? Looking good again. Like, I feel like we say this week in and week out, just continuing to remain undefeated. Whatever it takes, offense, defense, special teams, they have been a good unit, and that's why their ranking is so high.
Now they'll line up for what they hope is automatic. And with the extra point, the lead is even bigger. They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. So here is the Tennessee offense. This thing got out of hand on them, but they'll try to finish with some pride here.
And this one was a beatdown, and there's nothing you can do about it because this one's over. Jesse, now we got to start progressing for next week for the rest of this season so we don't let one bad game turn into two.
Yeah, there are very few teams out there that won't watch game film, but they may want to skip this one. I mean, because it may hurt their confidence. They just need to turn the page and get ready for the next opponent and forget this day ever happened.
The Vols can play this second down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. They'll run play action. Here's a throw downfield late. Oh, he had it. The deep ball was there, and it just trickled through his fingers.
And this is just one of those days, man, where everything has gone wrong, right? Like they just haven't been in a rhythm. They haven't got it going and never built the momentum. This is one of those days that you learn from, you try to grow from. A lot of things.
Pressure all over the quarterback, and down he goes at the 24.
And, man, is that just indictment of the day. Your quarterback getting drilled late in the football game. This offense has sputtered. They haven't found any kind of good rhythm. They haven't done things that really gives your coach confidence and makes you want to believe in them. This offense has a lot of work to do before their next football game.
He'll field the punt and try to make something happen. He gets a block. Really nice job all the way around. Got a few blocks, made a couple of moves, and a good return on that one before he's pushed out of bounds. Maybe some confusion on the snap count there. That's maybe what caused the false start. Either way, the offense is penalized.
False start, offense.
The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. Use the play fake. Now to throw. Trying to burn this defensive back. That ball is intercepted at the goal line. He goes out of bounds, but what a play to create a sudden change opportunity.
And his QB's put up a lot of numbers today and had a lot of success. But, man, he makes his first mistake. And this defense, they finally capitalize. They get the big turnover and stop.
Yeah, they needed something to go their way finally against the pass, and they get it right there. Now, if you're this quarterback, you got to turn the page quickly. Obviously, they're not going to stop throwing the football. They've had tons of success with this game tonight so far.
He lofted high and deep down the left side. And the pass is dropped and incomplete, and that's going to do it. Clock has struck 0, and the ball game is over. So Alabama once again takes the win in this smoking hot rivalry between the Vols and the Crimson Tide, and the party in Tuscaloosa will last well into the night. That's going to do it from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis, and you've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football.